Patreon. So it came out that in the Observer last week, Dave Meltzer was talking about Jay White possibly going to WWE. He had talked to his sources there, and he said that they seem to be focused on a bigger named free agent. And he didn't name the bigger name free agent. Moments after the report drops, Sean Ross Sapp then goes and does the story on Fightful Select about Kenny Omega possibly hitting free agency soon. We've been hearing conflicting reports about whether or not he's already a free agent or he's set to be a free agent. You know, they could be adding time to his contract because of the injury. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I know there's getting lawyers involved. There's kind of I don't want to say a messy situation because he's still working the shows and still putting on awesome matches, but it seems like there's something to this story that maybe Kenny Omega doesn't re-sign here with AEW. What do you think?
No, I think he resigns with AEW. I think he's going to test the free agent waters. I don't know how Kenny. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know how he'd work in WWE because I know Kenny can do whatever, but Kenny likes being Kenny, right? And he gets to be Kenny in AEW. But I'll be like, why isn't they pushing Kenny harder? Well, this is probably why, right? They get to do their 6-man thing while we figure things out. Because I do think there's a big money match in AEW with Kenny Omega and CM Punk, right?
Yes.
If both parties are willing to address it. And rumor is that Kenny's fine. It's the Bucks that are the issues right now. That's a rumor. Do I think Triple H makes the full court press? What?
Sorry, we must have talked to the same person because I heard that exact same thing, and I was just like, "Wait, were we in a group chat?" I was like, "I don't think we were in a group chat. I think we just had separate conversations with the same person."
It's possible we had separate conversations with the same person. Yeah, we don't have many sources. We just have a couple. It's not that big a show. No, I don't see Kenny going. I don't see Kenny leaving, but he could, right? But he could. Like Kenny doesn't look at the WWE as like the end all be all, kind of like Cody did, right?
Yeah.
Like Cody grew up in the shadow of WWE. Kenny just does Kenny stuff. Now, maybe Kenny says, you know what? I do want to scratch this itch because I do think he'd do better there than he would have under Vince, but he still has a lot of leeway and freedom in AEW. I don't know. Yeah. I don't anticipate it, but that doesn't mean that I don't think it couldn't happen. And I do think they're gonna go full court press to get him. Because they want to say, oh, look, we signed away another of their big guys.
I think the likely scenario is he re-signs with AEW. From what the people that I've talked to, and I think you've talked to some similar people, I think Tony Khan is kind of over having the Bucks and Kenny as EVPs. And he kind of basically stripped them of their responsibilities very early on and kind of gave them more menial labor type stuff. But I think that he'd probably like them to be mostly talent at this point. And just so that maybe that could be an issue. I do think the likely scenario is that he resigns, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. No, and I think it's a very real possibility he goes to WWE because look, they're going to come at him with a lot more money than AEW can possibly give him. And they could, put him in front of a lot more people. And look, people say Kenny Omega's style doesn't work there. It sure as hell does. It really does work there because take a look, like Seth Rollins is stealing from Kenny. A lot of people in that company have been stealing from Kenny for a long time. Years. And now they got the real and plus he's a ham. He really dude, he likes to do hokey shit. That he's the opposite of Moxley. He likes to do hokey shit.
Yeah.
And they love that stuff there.
They do, but what Kenny doesn't love is to be told what to do.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, this is the one thing I keep coming back to is that Kenny is that like starving artist, right?
Yeah.
Where he just kind of does his own thing. Like, what does he really want to do right now is what's really going to come down to. Is he because the AEW video game is delayed because he keeps having these weird ass ideas and he's in charge of it. Right. So this game's never going to come out because Kenny Omega is going to get struck by inspiration at 3 a.m. to have Godzilla in the game. Right. And then they're going to have to figure out a way to put Godzilla in the fucking game. So I just, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, I think Tony Khan's right because when they were running the shows, they weren't that good. Right. When they were booking it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. So I don't know.
they had Kenny Book in the women's division, and look, the Riho and who was the other lady that I think you brought in from Japan?
Yoko
Um,
Sakazaki.
Sakazaki, yeah, made them the champion right away. Put them in death spots. You know, it was just like, just wasn't working, right? And they're very good talents, right? But they weren't known to the public yet. You had to build them up to those spots, and they just kind of got those spots pretty early on. When Britt Baker probably should have got the spot a lot earlier anyway.
Yeah, that was
But
weird. It was a weird time. Like
yeah,
she was booked wrong, and it took a long time for. I think the AEW Women's Division is like fine now. To be honest
yeah,
with you,
yeah,
is
yeah.
it
You
amazing?
know,
No, it's fine. Like I'll watch the
but,
show. I'll
but
watch it.
the but the folks that are really into women's wrestling probably not going to be satisfied, and so it gets to a point where there's like you're probably never going to satisfy them, so you
No, I
really just
agree.
try to you got to put out the best show possible.
I agree.
And you know, if women are only in 2 segments versus 3 segments, you can't really worry about that stuff. But you know, you just try your best to shore up your weaknesses, right? That's the way I say, like, hey, we got this blind spot here, we need to try our best. But you know, who knows what how you're going to be able to make anybody happy with that. So you just got to put the best product possible.
Exactly. I mean, like you look at the ratings today. When the NBA is not on, they're fine. They're going to win, right? They can't compete
Yeah,
the NBA. What I
yeah.
say?
Oh, no, you didn't say anything, but
Oh, you
I was
laughed. I was like,
making
what?
no, it's because like I didn't know the NBA wasn't on because I
Oh,
don't really watch the NBA,
nor do
and
I.
I gave full credit to Tony Khan's big announcement. Just
Now,
him going back to that well, but turns out there was no NBA. So
no, that's what it is. I mean, like the NBA is always going to win when they're in
yeah,
season on Wednesday nights because it's the NBA. Live sports rule cable television, right? And when you don't have to compete with, you're going
100%.
to win. Like they're going to do fine. Like which much like when Monday Night Football's on, Raw goes down. Like pro wrestling is not as important as American sports in this country. It just isn't. So, you know, you got to get that new TV deal for AEW. That's what you got to figure out. You got to get that new TV deal. Everything else plays second to ensuring your financial security.
Yeah. So just but back to Kenny, I'm like
That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like 60-40. He goes back to AEW.
Me too. I'm probably more 70-30, but I mean
Yeah.
like I could see it. I could see it.
I can
But
really see him going to WWE.
he's so freaking weird is the thing though. You know, like you can't really he doesn't think like a normal human being. So it's just like I keep going back to that, you know?
Yeah, but Triple H seems to be better equipped at managing those types of
He does.
personalities. Like
I agree.
he brought Bray back, and
Mhm.
Bray's like super out there. So I look, I'm not trying to push like, hey, he's going to WWE. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just like, I could just really see it now.